Jewish Youth Council Israeli Song Contest, and we welcome you all. We are, as you already know, honoured this evening by the presence of the Mayor and Mayoress of Redbridge, Councillor and Mrs. Roy Drummond. We would like you, Mayoress, on our behalf, to accept small gifts from us. Okay. We can now begin the proceedings. I introduce you to someone you already know, the MC for the evening, the Chairman of the Redbridge Jewish Youth Council, Jonny Glass.
Okay, thank you, Ian. Mayor and Mayoress, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 8th Israeli Song Contest, presented by the Redbridge Jewish Youth Council and hosted once again at Sinclair House. Anyone who's been here before will know how popular this is, and the full house tonight, I think, proves that word of mouth spread, and once again we're expecting a very good and high competition. Of course, the only important thing though is not who wins, but that everyone takes part. I need to perform a very important job now, and that is to introduce to you the three most important people here tonight, who are of course the judges, who have a very difficult task of trying to differentiate between the groups and who is slightly better than someone else. The first judge is Mr. David Abou-Kassis, who is the manager of Ilford St. Lumi, who once again support the Youth Council in their events. The second judge is Mr. Jeffrey Blumenfeld, who is the Director of the United Synagogue Youth and Community Services. And the third judge is Ruth Joseph, the Administrator of the Jewish Programming Materials Project. As has become a tradition here for the Song Contest, we start this year's show with a repeat of last year's winners. Last year, Worcester County High won the Song Contest, which was the second year running that they had done so. The song was called We Reach to You and was written by Amy Lee. But because of the success of the tour, of the song, they went on a world tour through, which has resulted in a lot of the original singers staying in Israel, which is the country they most enjoyed. So this year, there's a completed effort with Amy, Leslie, Alex, Anna and Anne singing along. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you last year's winners, Worcester County High. Right, that was last year's winners. I think you'll see why. Hopefully this year's competition will live up to that standard. The first group for this year are from Chickle Jewish Youth Club. Tonight. The title of the piece is called A Winter's Morning. It was written by Lisa and Nikki Medallia and Jane Lessing. I can hear clapping behind me, so they obviously know who they are. Chickle have won previously in 1981. So this year's group have asked me to point out that they're aged between 13 and 16, and they asked me to particularly stress that they didn't receive any help from other club members or leaders or whatever, so it is totally individual effort by them. They sing their song in a cappella style, which those of you who remember the Flying Tickets, who had a hit not so long ago, it's similar to that, which means that there's no music. So it's just voices, it comes across loud and clearly. Chickle meets on a Wednesday evening for mainly 13 to 16, 17-year-olds, and they're starting to build up their club once more, and they're now averaging between 100 and 150 members a night. So that's the figure I was told. Maybe there was a slight exaggeration there by now. The other Chickle members here obviously found that time. They are one of the three major social centres in the area. They meet at Chickle and Haynockshaw in 9th Avenue. And I think that's it. I think hopefully we're now ready to go. Again, it's called A Winter's Morning, written by Lisa, Nikki and Jane.
It's a winter's morning, there's a chill in the air. I think about my home from home and wish that I was there. Walking in the street, riding on a bus. I think about a place I know where the people are like us.
Far to the east of our home, there's a nation where you're never alone, with places to talk about and people to know. It's a place with a history, everywhere has a story for you and me. It's a summer's morning, I wish that I could hide. The war and the suffering is all that I see outside. Fighting in the streets, pain is everywhere. All I see is blood and death, this war is so unfair. Far to the east of our home, there's a nation where you're never alone, with places to talk about and people to know. It's a place with a history,
to share. Their arms were open wide, their love for me was strong. Why did all that have to change? Why did it go so wrong?
Far to the east of our home, there's a nation where you're never alone, with places to talk about and people to know. It's a place with a history, everywhere has a story for you and me. It's a summer's morning, I'm glad that I am here.
'Cause Israel is my home from home. We need never shed a tear. Everyone's a friend.
Jews don't need to hide.
Israel is our promised land.
We all stand side by side.
Far to the east of our home, there's a nation
Where you're never alone, with places to talk about and people to know. It's a place with a history. Everywhere has a story for you and me.
Right, thank you. That was Tickle, a very good introduction to our concert. The next group tonight are from Worcester County High Grammar School for Girls. Right. The title of the song is called Israel My Love, and it was written by James Goodman. The Woodsters have won the song contest for the previous 2 years, in 1984 and 1985. Therefore, they're trying to be the first group to win for 3 consecutive years. And if they do so, we'll walk away with the trophy and keep it this time rather than having to bring it back next time. However, there is a difference between this year's entry and the previous 2. And that is that the songwriter has changed. The people who sung for the last 2 years have now left the school and are doing different things, and in fact we'll see them later on for different groups. And therefore, it's a completely different group. Again, they're singing Israel My Love, written by James Goodman, Worcester County High School. That was good for County High. We now have a change in your programme, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of Redbridge's round talker at 2, we now have Hubble and Draw with a song which is also different from your programme. It's now called Upward Trend. Hubble won the second song contest that was ever held in 1918, and they have dedicated this song in an untypical sloppy manner for Hubble and Draw to Paul Morris, who is making Aliyah in the next month or so. So as I said, sorry about that. As I said, Hubble and Draw singing Upward Trend.
Upward trend, talking Aliyah. It's a change in motion, it's gonna take us far. It's a matter of feeling, ain't about saying good. It's not an easy answer, try something new. We've seen an option, what will we decide? We've seen an option, ain't nothing too hard. We've seen an option, what will we decide? We've seen an option, there ain't nothing too hard. It's a question of homeland, what was right for me? I'm thinking romantic, why stand and see? Taking its feeling, calling out its name, changing the things we want to change all along the way. We've seen an option, what will we decide? We've seen an option, there ain't nothing too hard. We've seen an option, what will we decide? We've seen an option, there ain't nothing too hard. So we're going to Israel, we're looking honey flows, and when we get there, to the woods we'll go. Lots of sea and sunshine, lots of other Jews, so come and join us, there ain't nothing to lose. We've seen an option, what will we decide? We've seen an option, there ain't nothing too hard. We've seen an option, what will we decide? We've seen an option, there ain't nothing too hard. It's an upward trend, talking Aliyah. It's a change in motion, it's gonna take us far.
Okay, the next entry is a first for the Israeli Song Contest here in Redbridge, because it's being sung by a group who are representing the Redbridge Israel Clause 2. This year, Redbridge is occupied by joint tours. We took 2 tours to Israel with 62 teenagers. I think everyone who went with me had a fantastic time, and put down your names for next year's tour because they're filling up fast. The song title is called Let's Go. It was written by Matthew Christine after his experiences this summer, and the production, I've been asked to point out, is by Stephen Lewis. So, the rest of the talk to title Let's Go. And just something about Bill itself, Bill was now started in the last month a new tourism site because a rebranding, a new interest in Judaism and showing their identity. Good for them. Okay, so here's Bill. Good girl, and hand we are. which stands for the Redbridge Youth Organisation, and the title of their song is Memories. Now, anyone who has a good memory in the audience, and there might be a record breaker here actually, would remember that The first song contest in 1979 was won by BBYO. The song was written by Sarah Bookat and by Rosalind Graham. They've asked me to point out that the old nickname that also BBYO has had for many years of Hillel's Angels has now been changed to Style BBYO, and hopefully their song will prove that tonight. Thank you, BBYO. The next entry is the Barkside Heritage Centre. It's entitled Searching for Israel. It's written by Warren and by David Sassoon. The song is about the links between the Jews who were stranded in the Soviet Union and trying to get out to emigrate to Israel. Which seems a good point for me to mention the next council event. Every year, the Youth Council organises a torchlight procession to show our solidarity with the Jews in the Soviet Union. This year's event is taking place on September the 28th, and the march will start at 7 o'clock on the Mark Lewis Hall in Beehive Lane, and we'll march to here to Sinclair House. Having recently returned from Moscow, this is an event that now has special attachments to. In past years, out of 20,000 Jews in the community, we've had 200 people turning up, which anyone, even with my simple mathematics, works out to 1%, which isn't very encouraging. When you see the people, you see the things they're going through, it might be your 13-year-old brother or sister or daughter or son who has to stand up in front of 1,000 people at school and denounce their parents for being traitors. Or it might be your 18-year-old son who instead of going into the army because he knows that means there's no way he can get out, goes into hospital for 2 months every year for treatment for example, high blood pressure, which the person doesn't have, but he gets peppered with the drugs for it, just to make it look as if he does have it, and the obvious effects from that are clear for all to see. So I hope we get a good turnout for that. So, the next entry is from Barkingside, and it's called Searching for Israel.
What lies beyond the horizon? Is there something there for them? Will they ever find Israel? They've got to, for them it's a must. Future looks bright, and their lives have changed now. Now at least we have the more to help them. Took them back to our homeland. Israel, Israel.
That was the Barkingside Jewish Youth Centre. And the next group is a small group. I don't know if anyone's heard of it here. It's from the Redbridge Jewish Youth Community. first team to get maximum points from the judges in any competition. Just another small point, you might begin to recognise one of the faces singing. It's because it's the third group she's entered for tonight, it's Rochelle Bash. Okay, so now we have the Redbridge Community Centre with Our Prize. That was the Redbridge Youth Community Centre. As we're coming up to the final song of tonight's competition, I thought it would be the appropriate time to thank some of the people who worked many hours to make this possible. Ken Hammond has spent many hours here working. Thanks to Dr. Clive Art Saunders, Claire Barzilai, Kirsten Fuller Mark Saunders, Gary Levine, Michael Gold, unruly behaviour behind the curtain, Mark Saunders, and the person who tipped me a 5 at sale list, Mark Saunders. Which leaves us with the last entry, firstly, not the least of them. The entry by Jonny Glass. The title of the song is The Israel Inside, and it's been written by Amy Lee, who wrote the 2 songs that won the previous 2 years' contest. The song's about the special feeling within Israel the Jews have there, and how the desire for Israel has united Jews throughout the years. B'nai Akiva. I'm sure you'll agree with me that the judges this year have a very difficult job, and I think now we should thank all the competitors who have taken part in tonight's show. During the interval, there'll be a short interval of about 15 to 20 minutes. There'll be a couple of things going on. Firstly, in the area where you walked in by the cafeteria, we have a new product from Israel called the Sweetie, which is a new citrus fruit, which has only just started to be exported, which are free there for you to sample and hopefully enjoy. The second thing is that we're holding a raffle to try and boost our much depleted funds. The prizes are a Jewish cookbook donated by the Blue and White Shop and a lovely comperes. The tickets are 50p each and 3 for £1, so 160 for buy quite a few. Enjoy your interval and we'll meet back here in about 20 minutes. Thank you. Oh, Lois, thank you. You win the cookbook. Judges, they obviously found it much more difficult than we thought. As you can see from the board, the judges are going to mark, each individual judge out of 20 are given a mark out of 20 for presentation, and then a mark out of 20 for content. You take those all together and it's out of 120. However, this year there's a slight twist because there's going to be a bonus figure. That bonus figure has been decided by the judges together. It's just one figure, and it's out of a total of 3. That's all. Could make all the difference at the end though. And that bonus figure represents how close to the theme of Israel they felt the songs they heard were. Okay. So, to begin the marking, we have Mrs. Joseph, who's here as a representative of the Youth and Excellence Department. In a few seconds, Mrs. Joseph, on behalf of the Youth and Excellence Department, will start the marking. As you can see, it's a very close thing. Yeah, I'm telling everyone to notice that the Bill High School, the high school that's being held, has almost like the direct response to the education scandal there. Okay, Mrs. Joseph.
Right, here goes. Chigwell, this is the presentation. Chigwell 15. Woodford 17. Indoor 12. Redbridge 13. Bill High 17. BBYO 18. Barkingside 16. Redbridge 19.
Quick but slightly ahead of BBYO and Hill and Woodford. The next judge is Mr. Abercrombie, the manager of Bank Movie.
Chigwell 16.